What's up, everyone? I thought I'd do another video on video game pickups. I've never done really a pickups video, but I figured I've gotten enough games to where, hey, this will be a pretty good video on what I've picked up and what I've been playing as of late. Uh, so I'm gonna start off with my latest game I just picked up. My two latest games, which was some of these games I picked up in the last 3 months or so, but they still add to a game collection that I've recently picked up. Anyways, my latest game I picked up was Rainbow Six Vegas. I wanted a actual real campaign for a Rainbow Six game, since I don't have anyone to play with Siege on. I figured I'd just play that, and that's a great game. Little touchy with the controls. You probably might have to play a little bit with the controls for a little bit, but I feel like for the controls perspective, it fits perfectly for that style and pace. Um, if you try going guns blazing everywhere, the controls you would probably fumbling around because the game is so strategic and slow paced, they're fine. I just gotta get used to it, and I am not even gonna play. I'm not even in the middle of playing that yet. I'm hoping to knock some more games out before I finally get to that. But from what I did play, it is pretty fun. Just the controls and everything are just a little bit of a challenge for me to play at the moment. A game that I just finished actually a couple nights ago, which, believe it or not, I have never played, Call of Duty Ghosts, and they always give this game a hard time. I kind of like it. There's things about it, yeah, we don't like, we really hear from, but I don't mind Ghosts that much. I actually kind of wish instead of getting like the Infinite Warfare that we got, I kind of wish we had a Ghost too. The way Ghost ended, and the way the Ghost, I feel like whatever Ghost lacked on, which if I obviously did not like, which like the big maps and everything, which I already knew about before getting the game, but I wanted to play the campaign mostly. Uh, the game just doesn't sit well with the fan base. But I feel like if they would have got a second chance and brought out a Ghost 2, maybe they could have redeemed themselves and released an even better product. I love the post-apocalyptic setting. I love the premise behind it, the idea. I guess they just missed the mark for satisfying fans. But I personally didn't mind it that much. People want to talk about like, oh, it had a bad story or anything. It's just an action game, like a big action Fast and the Furious type of movie. Honestly, that has a bunch of action in it. As long as it entertains me, I'm happy. And the game entertained me throughout the whole way, just like every other Call of Duty campaign does. Now, the only ones that I have to play now are Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and World War II, which I'm dreading to play World War II because it just looks very boring and I don't want to play it. But I want to play it and give it a chance, and just to say, so I complete all of the Call of Duty games. I've never beaten all the Call of Duty games, and I want to beat all the Call of Duty games, at least all the main ones. The first one I ever played was Big Red 1. I played the very first game. I never beat that one either, nor did I even beat the expansion to the very first game as well. So, excluding those two games, I have beat really every single game of the series, except for also Finest Hour. I never played Finest Hour either. But yeah, I enjoy the Call of Duty campaigns. So, but that's that could probably be for another video as well. Another game that I picked up, Mark McMorris Infinite Air. Now, I know you're probably saying this, oh, get this trash out of here. This is just, a licensed snowboarding game. I gotta say, it's not that bad. I love snowboarding games personally. And let me tell you something. If you want something different and out of your comfort zone and kind of just something with a breath of fresh air, get this game. It's pretty good. I mean, I got it brand new for $14. So, this game is pretty fun. It's from the same guys that made the golf club. So think of the golf club, but in a snowboarding fashion. People in the community can go in and tweak the hills and stuff and make them better, or maybe bring new ramps. You can come in this game and have a different experience the last time that you just played. So you're gonna get a different experience a lot of the times that you play this game. Now, unfortunately, the community isn't that strong anymore, so you're probably going to get a lot of the levels that have been left there and that have been tampered with in a while. But you can go in there and change them also yourself. If you don't like something with your hill or setup, you can change it yourself. So there's a lot of replayability in that aspect. Although there isn't really much of like a single player or anything, it's kind of just you kind of just go in there and do tricks and then get off, and that's what I like. It's nothing that I take seriously. Kind of just go in there, chill and relax, and that's it. You don't have to take the game too seriously for that. But for that matter, I appreciate. Next two games really. This one, Left 4 Dead, and Left 4 Dead 2. I mainly wanted to play this one first because it is the first game. Even though that these games are kind of very similar, I still want to play the first game more first at the moment because, well, yeah, that's just how I am. I like to play the first games. So, anyways, Left 4 Dead is it is as they say. It's one of the best co-op experiences ever. However, haven't really played it with a co-op experience. I've really kind of just mainly now accepted it, and I'm just going so solo on the game, and I'm still enjoying myself. It's not as probably immersive because your friendly AI kind of just stands around waiting for you, and like the AI isn't the best, but they do give you items and they do help and shoot. Like it's not just a one. Like they don't just stand there and have you do all the work. They actually kill zombies and everything for you and heal you and give you bandages and stuff. So I appreciate that, but I love the sound. I love the atmosphere. I love the music. I love the gunplay. I love the bullet damage. Like you shoot someone's arm and it actually comes off. How awesome is that? So I love the bullet damage. I love all the effects. I just love the game. Maybe one day someone will actually play it with me. We will see. Do I really care? No, because I still try to have make the most out of the games that I can't play with a friend. So that's maybe a little teaser for my next video about co-op games and how I feel about them. So maybe stick around for that if you guys want. But onto the next game, I actually recently beat this as well. Tomb Raider Legend. I never played this game, and I always wanted to when I was a kid. Now, some people may not like this game. They may think it's going to feel out of date. But I tell you what, it may look dated and it may look kind of old, but it kind of captures the old feel of the old Tomb Raider games with a slight mixture of new Tomb Raider at the time, because this was before the Crystal Dynamics modern game. Even though this was made by Crystal Dynamics, they actually made two trilogies on 360. They made the Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider Legend. They made Underworld, and they made the Anniversary. Those were 3 games, and then they actually quit making the 2 games, and then they had Eidos Montreal do Shadow. So they kind of made 5 Tomb Raider games, and this was good, but it's one of the weaker ones, but it's still pretty fun. It's a classic in its own right, and I appreciate what it is. It's not a game that probably you got to take the story too seriously. It's one of those weird, quirky type of stories, but I appreciate the game and it's fun. Um, I kind of hope that we get our next Tomb Raider game. We get a classic Tomb Raider game where she looks kind of like the old classic self, and she doesn't breathe heavy after every battle. And she does a cartwheel after when she picks herself up. Just classic little moves like that aren't present in the newer Tomb Raider games. And I feel like that Laura is the best model Laura of the entire series. It looks really good. It looks, uh, classic Laura. It's like a mixture of new Laura, but a little bit of tweaked for modern Laura as well. Not the Laura that we know today. It's she kind of looks like a normal person, really. She doesn't look like a video game character. Anyways, another game that I beat, I said Tomb Raider, Driver San Francisco, and this appeared in my last video, but this game it's a masterpiece, and I love. This is the best driver game I think of the series, and it focuses on all the strengths driving. All the other driver games that had on-foot mechanics never did anything well because those games didn't have good on-foot mechanics. Like Driver 3, Driver Parallel Lines, those games didn't do well with the on-foot mechanics. Driver 2 did do good as well. But this game focuses only on the driving, and this is Reflection's best work. It has elements of Stuntman in it as well, which I love. I love Stuntman. And it has everything that Reflections does well in this game. And it's a shame that Reflections can't make a driver game anymore. They're stuck making Ubisoft trash games like Watch Dogs, The Crew 2. I mean, they're stuck making these games, and I feel bad for them because I want Reflections to do driver, and Ubisoft won't allow them to make driver. Pick this game up if you can. It's getting up there in price. It's about around $30-$40 now. So you definitely got to try this. It's a great game. You can't even get it on PC. You got to find probably pirate it or something. Find use digital codes or something and try to play it that way. So you can try to play it on PC, or even you can try to get a physical copy or something on PC so you can play it, because this is a great game and it needs to be played. The game that I'm currently in the middle of playing, and this was Condemned Criminal Origins. I love this game so far. Really, really good atmospheric game. It's Monolith, and we all know what Monolith does. They're now doing the Shadow of Mordor games. They made this, and man, I wish we would get another Condemned game or just revitalize the series. And why is this game? Tell me why this game is backwards compat and not 2. They only have the first game, which is strange to me. But that's it. That's really what I've picked up so far in the last, couple months. I'm always picking up. I'm always hunting around for games. Obviously, I didn't get the most. You could probably say, "Oh, I didn't get that many." I also have plenty of digital titles that I purchased, very cheap. So I got tons of games to play. I'm not going broke for any fresh games to play. I'm not looking forward to any new games coming out other than probably Super Monkey Ball and Hot Wheels Unleashed. I mean, those are like the 2 games that I'm really excited for. But I'm skeptical of both of them, which is why I'm going to do more research and stuff before they come out. I'm not just going to rush out, pre-order them, and day one, bro, and be that type of dude. So I'm going to be very skeptical on these games that I am excited for. So yeah, Hot Wheels Unleashed looks awesome. I'm excited for that, but I have my doubts, and I have my doubts for Monkey Ball as well. Sega is king. We all know that, but even Sega makes mistakes. But we will see. Uh, but yeah, I am out. That is have been my pickups. My next video should be soon.